our civilizational ethos. So we still have that to an extent. I wanted to hear your comment about how important that will play a role in the future of the development of nation. For instance, the G20 summit, there was this punchline that was used, that Vasudev Kutumbakam, right? This very idea of doing good to oneself and the world, it's very intrinsic to our civilizational thought process, and this is not to be found anywhere else in the world. Although we are surrounded by a lot of forces which have their own selfish interests, India is the only nation which civilizationally and philosophically thinks in a way of benefiting others, starting from one's own self. Right? This is a land of dharma and spirituality. So how can this philosophical grounding that we have in our civilization play a role in evolving our future?
All right. Excellent question. Excellent question. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It was the motto of the 2023 G20 proceedings, which India hosted. What is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam? Vasudha Eva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. Where does this line come from? It comes from the Jataka tales. There is a tale. The Jataka tales are these short stories about animals who interact in various ways, and they give us some moral, some kind of takeaway. So in this particular Jataka tale, there is a story of, I think, some bird and a jackal, and the jackal is starving, and he wants the bird to share its home or its house with him, because he's starving and the world is one family. And the moment the bird gives the access to its house to the jackal eats its children and the bird. That's kind of the story that I remember. So Vasudeva Kutumbakam is a cautionary tale in the Jataka tales. It tells you that people will come to you and tell you the world is one family, but the world is not one family. That is the true lesson to be learned from Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That your enemies will come and tell you, the world is one family, come, hug me. And the moment you hug them or you give them the access, they're going to take everything. That is what we have learned, but the government of India has inverted everything. Non-violence. What did Lord Krishna say about non-violence? He tried his best to have a negotiated solution. He said, okay, just give me 5 villages and I will ask for nothing else. And when it became clear that the Kauravas will not give anything at all, then he told Yudhishthira, Arjun, time for war, kill them all. So you should strive for peace as much as humanly possible, but when you are confronted with evil, non-violence is served by destroying evil. So we have to understand the context. We are the land of Vishnugupta Chanakya. What was his philosophy like? His philosophy was way orders of magnitude more advanced than Machiavelli. Okay? So that is the heritage we have to pay heed to. We are the land of Vishnugupta Chanakya. We are the land of great conquerors. Kanishka, Skandagupta, what's his name? Samudragupta, and so many more. Ashoka the Great. Ashoka, kind of a tyrant, but one of our greatest emperors ever. We have to learn from all of them. We have to learn the lessons of the Mahabharata. How treacherous can the world be? And how do you deal with these treacherous people? It's not all about love and peace and non-violence. Non-violence has to be achieved by destroying the violent. That is also needed. So, with all that in mind, India's cultural integrity is under huge threat. We are the only nation that does not teach its children their culture in school. We try to dissociate ourselves from our culture. You go to Southeast Asia, you go to Thailand, for example, you go to Suvarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok, you will see demonstrations, you will see depictions of Thai culture. What is Thai culture there? Hanuman, Samudra Manthan, etc. They are proud of it and they display it with pride. They are more Indian than we are today. That is what we have left. When we think about our culture, we feel this repulsion. No, chi, 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 chi. Very backward, very misogynistic, very patriarchal, very this, very that. That's what we have been taught. That's what the education system has done to us. They have deracinated us. Generation after generation, until there comes a time then where we see our culture as something foreign. And without our culture, we have nothing. Every nation is proud of its culture. Why do we find Japan so attractive? Japan is the world's most technologically advanced nation. True. The world's most technologically advanced society. But they are also a very traditional society. You will see that everywhere in their manga, in their anime. You will see Japanese culture. You will see their kami. You will see their Shinto elements, Buddhist elements, and everything else. Samurai elements. And much of that, actually, whether you believe it or not, comes from Indian culture. Okay? So we have to retain our connection with our culture. Without that, we have nothing. We have no identity. So that's what I feel about this. It's a very, very, very complicated topic, but India has to ensure we have to ensure we don't lose our culture. Our cultural integrity, civilizational integrity is under great threat. There is a tremendous amount of funding coming into it to deracinate us, to uproot our culture. Billions or even trillions of dollars per year are being funneled into India to re-engineer the demographics of India, cultural, religious demographics of India. It's a big, big, big threat we are facing. Right. Next question.
Hello, sir.